Hi and welcome along to PL Seasons to Remember, and this is our new transfer show that we are going to bring you over the next couple of weeks while the transfer window is open. As we all know, the transfer window opened last week and is going to be shutting in October. So what we're going to do over the next couple of weeks and over the next month or so is bring you the daily gossip on transfers and anything that might be happening or not happening. You'll get it here live on PL Seasons to Remember. So the first topic of the evening is we're gonna look at Jadon Sancho. Now he looks to be on his way to Manchester United. It's kind of gone on from the start of the transfer window. Even before then, there was talk of Jadon Sancho going to Manchester United, and it's looking more and more like it's going to happen. They are in talks at this present moment in time. It looks like they're trying to agree maybe on a 5-year contract. They said they are close to agreeing personal terms. Again, Borussia Dortmund are shifting from that 120 million euros. So United are going to have to open up the bank account and really push this deal through. It looks like Dortmund are willing to maybe take a payment here or there, maybe to get the deal over the line. So any Manchester United fans out there, what do you think? Is Jadon Sancho what you need at Old Trafford? Or do you really need a defender? So it'd be really interesting to find out what you guys think on Jadon Sancho. Does it mean that Mason Greenwood is going to be pushed out of the team for Sancho to come in? A little bit unfair maybe on Mason Greenwood after the season he's had. Well, the back end after lockdown. So Manchester United, my opinion, I think it'd be a good sign for Manchester United. I think he's still very much a work in progress. So it's one of them where it's either going to work and it's going to be brilliant, or it's not going to work. And 120 million euros is a lot of money for somebody so young as well, who's not quite proven as yet, but he is a very, very up and coming star. So we'll keep our eye on that over the next coming days and see if that transfer actually happens. Next piece of transfer news broke last week about Manchester City's £41 million deal for Nathan Ake from Bournemouth. As we all know, Bournemouth parted company with Eddie Howe over the weekend. I think it was on Saturday. Excuse me. So that's a difficult one now for Bournemouth, losing Eddie Howe. Looks like the assistant coach, they're hoping to maybe put him in there, maybe temporary, or maybe give him the job. Say it's a big job at Bournemouth, and feel quite sorry for Eddie Howe, but I think it's one of them where when a manager gets relegated with a team, it's sometimes they're not going to be there this season after, especially for the couple of seasons Bournemouth were in the league. And I've got a funny feeling that Nathan Ake will probably be the first of many that will be heading out of the door at Bournemouth. So Manchester City, £41 million. Do I think it's going to be a deal that's good enough for Manchester City? Time will tell. I think time will tell. I think he's another young prospect. Is he what Manchester City need? Is he better than Nicolas Otamendi? Yeah. He's quicker. He's good with the ball. Is he going to then sit with Aymeric Laporte? Does this mean John Stones is going to be out of the door now? They paid a lot of money for Stones. So yeah, I think a lot of the young talents are on the move in this transfer window. So yeah, Manchester City deal for Nathan Ake looks pretty much done now. Chelsea. We're not going to Chelsea now. Chelsea have been very busy so far in this transfer window, as we know. Timo Werner has come, and Ziyech, I think that's how you pronounce it, from the man from Ajax. He was already brought in as well during the season for Chelsea. Timo Werner has also come from RB Leipzig, so it's going to be interesting to see how them two come together at Chelsea this season. And there's Havertz as well, which is another one who Chelsea are linked with. Don't really know much about Havertz. I've a lot of talk that he's a really good player. So Chelsea really splashing the cash for the top end of the squad. They've also sort of joined the race now, believed to have joined the race for Ragulan from Real Madrid. He was on loan at Sevilla last season, seems to be quite a highly rated player. Everton did bid, supposedly bid of an £18 million last week for him, so Everton really need to pick up next season. I think they do spend quite a bit of money every transfer into Everton. It never seems to work out, so they're trying to get somebody in the back, maybe replace. Leighton Baines is retired, maybe somebody else they could use. But Chelsea are supposedly coming for him as well, hoping to maybe match Everton's bid or maybe beat it. So we'll see what happens with that. I think looking at the way Chelsea have been since the season started again after lockdown, they really need to look at bringing in defenders. I mean, when Liverpool played them on the last home game of the season for Liverpool, they scored 5. Because Chelsea are struggling to defend. They've been struggling to defend all season. It's quite good going forward. And then again, in the FA Cup final at the weekend, they struggled again at the back. So I think maybe Frank Lampard maybe needs to look at the back end of the pitch instead of looking at the top. Also, more Chelsea as well, that it seems to be Kepa, Arrizabalaga and Willian look like they may be heading for the exit as well. It's not worked out for Kepa Arrizabalaga since he's moved to Chelsea. When Thibaut Courtois went to Real Madrid, I think they thought they were getting one of the new best upcoming goalkeepers around, and it's just not quite worked out for him at Chelsea. And also Willian, he's been there quite a while at Chelsea now. I think he's not really wanting to sign a contract. Didn't play at the weekend because of injury. Don't know if he's injured. It could be that he's just waiting to leave now. I don't think he's going to be playing again for the rest of the season. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens with Willian. I know there's a lot of talk in the media with him maybe going to Arsenal. Again, do Arsenal really need Willian? Are they willing to pay his wages? Because I've got a funny feeling that he's going to be quite high on wages. So that's going to be interesting to see for Willian. And he may even come to Liverpool. You never know. I know Liverpool were linked as well. But again, is it a player that Liverpool really need? Maybe not. So that's sort of coming away from Chelsea. Another one from Manchester City, Ferran Torres from Valencia. That might be getting over the line as well. Again, don't really know a lot about him. He's supposed to be quite highly rated as well from Valencia. So City started to splash the cash again for the start of for the upcoming season. I'm sure Pep Guardiola wants to get his team a bit more stronger for next season, if there could be any stronger. Maybe more at the back than maybe anywhere else. Here's an interesting one for Norwich City. Ben Godfrey is one of the centre-backs at Norwich. He had quite a good season to say. Norwich was relegated. He's quite a young, quite a young defender. Valued at £30 million by Norwich. But it looks like AC Milan and Bayer Leverkusen are looking to bring Ben Godfrey in. So yeah, interesting times for the young man. I wonder where he'll choose if they are to sell Ben Godfrey. It's similar to Bournemouth, really. Norwich, it's depending whether they're going to keep their best players. I've got a funny feeling maybe Timu Pukki might head out the door as well, depending if anybody else fancies going in for him. He had a good start to the season, but then sort of faded off for quite a lot of it as well. So Norwich, it's a big, could be a big loss for them. That any Norwich fans out there, let us know what you think about Ben Godfrey. Do you think you'll miss him in the Championship? So we'll see. That's another interesting one. Going to move on to Arsenal, and we all know about Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang and this, not a saga, but hoping that he will sign a brand new contract with Arsenal. He's got 1 year. I think he's got 1 year left on his contract. I think they're wanting to offer him over 250 grand a week. I think he's only on 140 or something like that a week at the moment, so it's a big leap. I might be completely wrong about what he's on, but I think that's what he's on. It's going to be a massive leap for Aubameyang. That's a lot of money, especially this probably is going to be his last big contract before he retires. But being captain, also scoring 2 goals in the cup final at the weekend, almost brought the trophy as well. As Mikel Arteta said, he's not used to lifting them with Arsenal yet. So that's a massive, massive. I think that's Arsenal's main transfer. I think this season in the transfer window is to get Aubameyang signed up. Get him signed up. He's probably the best striker in the Premier League at this present moment in time. I know Jamie Vardy won the Golden Boot, but there's something about Aubameyang. We can play out on the wing, he can play in the middle, and he's just a goal machine, absolute goal machine. So a lot of Arsenal fans out there, I'm pretty sure you want to keep Aubameyang. If there's anybody out, any Arsenal fans, I think they should cash in on Aubameyang to bring in funds to get more players. Please let me know. Let me know what you think. It should be quite an interesting couple of weeks for Arsenal with Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Now, a man who gets mentioned so many times at the moment for Arsenal is Mesut Ozil. Mesut Ozil is Arsenal's highest paid player at 350 grand a week, and he's not been seen throughout the entire restart since lockdown. We saw him at Southampton with an umbrella on the bench, catching some rays. And that's pretty much all he's done. He's now back in Turkey, I believe. He sent a message out tweeted the Arsenal guys over the weekend to congratulate them. I think he was given permission to go to Turkey. So what has happened to Mesut Ozil? What has happened to Mesut Ozil? Everybody knows he's got such talent, but he's just not happened in the last couple of years or so for Arsenal. Some people might say it's never happened at Arsenal, but his stats do speak for himself at times. He's one of the best sisters in the Premier League, but it's just not worked over this last year since Unai Emery really came in charge of Arsenal. I think Mesut Ozil's nose has sort of been pushed out a little bit. But 350 grand a week, it's going to be a lot to get him out. If Arsenal want rid of him, someone's going to have to pay his wages. Is another club really going to come out and pay Mesut Ozil's wages of 350 grand a week after what's happened with the coronavirus? Is anyone got that money to do that? I don't think so. I really don't think so. So I think he'll stay at Arsenal this season, and I think he'll go when his contract ends. But if not, Arsenal have to pay him out. They'll have to pay him out. If they don't want him, no one's going to get him. Pay him out. Pay him off his contract and get rid. Get him out of the club. And then you go again. But it might cost so much money to get him out of the club. That's half the transfer budget probably gone. So yeah, Mesut Ozil, Guendouzi as well. He's another one who Mikel Arteta is just sort of doesn't want to know. Matteo Guendouzi, last time he played was Brighton, wasn't it? When he had the a kick-off with Maupay. Not seen him since. So it's another strange one for Guendouzi. Maybe his attitude isn't right. Mikel Arteta has come in and said, no, you're not for me either. And the same with Mesut Ozil. So Arsenal fans, again, the same question is going to be asked. Do you want to keep Mesut Ozil at the club? Do you think he's doing enough to warrant to stay at the club? Do you think he's doing enough to warrant 350 grand a week? In my opinion, no. He's not even playing. And Guendouzi as well. Is he another one? There is talk, again, with Philippe Coutinho, who I know very well when he played at Liverpool. There is a lot of talk with Barcelona about maybe a cash player deal where Guendouzi, plus I think it's £9 million for Coutinho. if I was Arsenal, I think they do need attacking midfield. They need someone who's going to get goals from midfield. I think Arsenal do lack goals from midfield, and I think he'd be the perfect player to go in. He knows the pressing game. He did it with Klopp. I think he can do it with Arsenal if Arteta wants to take a gamble on him. It's not worked out for him at Barcelona. It hasn't worked out for him at Bayern Munich. Third time the charm. Get into Arsenal. Get your head down and start playing football. If they get into his best, like I said, he was one of the best players in the league when he was at Liverpool. If they can get even close to that, they've got one hell of a signing there of Arsenal for Philippe Coutinho. But also, Spurs are also after Coutinho as well. That's sort of been very much a part of the pretty much half of the season when the window was open. In January, there was a lot of talk of Coutinho going to Tottenham, but I don't think he wanted to go there on loan, did he? I think he wanted to go permanent if he was going to go, and I don't think Spurs wanted to do it permanently, or it could be the other way around. Just checking if there's anything else on here. No, I believe that's all I have for the moment. But like I said, massive things coming up on the Liverpool front. Not a right lot happening. Liverpool have been in. There's a lot of speculation about Thiago Alcantara from Bayern Munich coming to Liverpool. I think he is in late, about 29, 30 now. Thiago, I think they said they wanted something like £45 million for him. It's a lot of money for a 29, 30-year-old is a lot of money. Again, never been in the Premier League before. I just see Liverpool not strengthening. I've got a feeling that because nothing's coming out of Liverpool at the moment. Like I said, a lot of it's anyway. I mean, apart from a few of the things, what I've got down here is a lot of it is just speculation. So, you know, it's not a given that all this is going to happen. Maybe, probably the Sancho and maybe a Aubameyang signing again might be the ones that looks like it could happen. But say for the other stuff, a lot of it is just transfer speculation. Thiago coming to Liverpool is just transfer speculation. I think as a Liverpool fan, Liverpool do need to go out and buy some players. They need another defender now. Now Dejan Lovren's sold. They need a creative midfielder. They need another striker for the bench. Because I think Origi, as much as he scored some vital goals for us, I think if we want to win the league next season or again be up there for challenging again next season, we need better players than Origi up front. Especially, it's a bit similar to the Spurs thing. At Spurs, you wanted to try and buy a striker who's going to come in, who's going to be happy to sit on the bench and not, because unless Firmino's not really scored a lot of goals this season, I'll be honest. But he does more than scores goals. He creates a lot. His work rate's brilliant. But it's whether Klopp wants to bring somebody in and say, right, you're going to go in instead of Firmino. Then it breaks up the free up, in my opinion, the best front three in the world. So it's a difficult one, especially for strikers. I think one thing about Origi is I think at the moment it looks like he's happy to sit on the bench and come on as a bit part player, but that won't last forever. So I think if Liverpool are going to do something, create a midfielder, defender, and definitely a striker for the bench, or maybe even to come in to really push that. More Firmino than the other two, more than Salah and Mane, because they do score goals from where they're playing, but more Firmino to push Firmino on a little bit more to try and get him to score more goals. So that is it for our first transfer show. We are hoping to get people on the show, so it's not just going to be me. We're going to get somebody on tonight, but we've had a lot of technical difficulties. As you've probably seen, half the time it stops sometimes. So yeah, we've had a lot of technical difficulties, so I've just done this one myself tonight. So hopefully you've enjoyed it. Like I said, please comment, give us some comments. Let us know what you think. If you think that a lot of the transfers on here, what do you think? Again, Arsenal fans, I want to know about Aubameyang. I want to know your opinions about Aubameyang. I want to know your opinions about Mesut Ozil and Guendouzi. Is there anyone that you would like to sign? Anybody out there, any clubs? Who do you want to sign this transfer window? Let me know. And we will see what happens. As said, this is going to be a weekly thing, the transfer show. If anything does happen in the coming days, if any of these transfers do become permanent transfers and it does go through, we will come back on again and we'll discuss that transfer when it actually happens. So this, like I said, this is the first episode of our transfer show. There are other shows we're going to be bringing in over the next couple of weeks. We're trying to bring more new material in for you guys to watch. But if you have any ideas, once again, send it on to us. I'll tell you the Twitter and email address at the end of the show. So thank you very much for watching our first episode of the Transfer Show. I hope you've enjoyed it. Like I said, we'll have other members of the guys on probably on the next episode in the next couple of days. So you can tweet us at SeasonsPL on Twitter. That's our new Twitter page now. And as always, and the Gmail is plseasonsremember@gmail.com. So guys, yeah, that's the end of the Transfer Show. I hope you've enjoyed it. As I said, please tweet us. Please get your emails in. And if you follow us on YouTube, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about the show. And if there's anything else that you want us to do. And again, about the topic that we've spoken about today. So yeah, have a good evening. And let's remember, the Transfer Show on PL Seasons. We're right up to date with it all. And we'll be back next time. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.